Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Team Enigma Brothers are back.
We haven't seen any Enigma picks yet. I'm disappointed.
I know. We were all ready. The Enigma Pride. But we've got a good one. First departure now up against Team Malaysia. Malaysia, the heavy favorites coming in here. I think the bets were like 85-15, something like that. Probably appropriate.
They will be playing with the stand-ins, so who knows?
Yep, no more Extinct. So they've got KS today, a name that we'll recognize. And see
playing
how he
against
meshes
his old
with the team.
First departure replaced him as well as
You're right.
Daffa. And
So who do they have now? Lubby and Aluka? So I think that's the new lineup.
No, it was Hannah. Yeah, Hannah and Aluka.
Hannah and Aluka.
Sorry, Hannah and Pelusin. Pelusin was playing with Johnny's Revenge, wasn't he? I don't know.
I've lost track.
Yeah,
it's been a little while. These teams are drafting quick, so okay, let's hop in here.
I think it was a couple. Yeah, two other players.
Very little bonus time used, man. These guys know what they want, and they're going for it quick. Team Malaysia with some very interesting first bans. They take out Huskar and Riki Maru.
This is the Mushi special.
Two very irritating heroes.
Two heroes that are just like no. It's the no bans basically.
Yeah, but it's funky. I mean, Huskar can be pretty irritating in the right game.
10 seconds remaining.
So can Riki, I suppose.
5 seconds remaining.
Well,
she's special.
KS is the stand-in for today, so we'll see how that affects the odds at all, since Extinct not on the team anymore.
Yeah.
Interesting. I mean, at the same time, First Departure, sure, they're not playing with any stand-ins, but it's a newish roster. It was their original First Departure roster, but they haven't played together for a year or so.
Yeah, still Miracle, that standout player. We've seen many games where it's kind of Miracle +4, and he kind of just carries himself. Naga, Morphling, two of the big ones that come to mind right away, but there's a ton of heroes.
I wonder what he's going to play. We haven't seen what would be his hero yet.
Yeah, the Naga's been banned out, and they pick up the Elder Titan themselves, so they could potentially be angling for a Morphling.
Good burst damage if you go the shotgun build, like especially with the Elder Titan aura. So
yeah, good against the Prophet, though. They do have a lot of silence already, so two heroes that kind of may deter a Morphling pick if you're so inclined.
I wonder if even something like a Wind Ranger, like mid lane, something that Miracle likes to play.
Oh, the Wind Ranger, yeah, that's one of the other kind of
Slack is a good Miracle hero, though that's more. I don't think Slack fits this draft at all. You want something ranged to go with the Void. Right now, there's no real follow-up damage for a Chronosphere, so that needs to be fixed. Fixed pronto.
Yeah, I think Net, maybe Sand King here could be a decent Sand King game.
He loves this. He's a fantastic Sand King.
And I think Sand King pairs well with the Skywrath also.
If I had Net on my team, I'd be picking him Sand King almost every single game. But other than that, yeah, Sand King, Earthshaker possible, but give me a Viper, and that may just be a Miracle Viper. So not really a flashy Miracle hero, but sometimes you just got to play what you got to play. The draft calls for it.
Viper is definitely one of the more boring picks you can go for in general, especially for a player like Miracle, but
still could see the Elder Titan support.
Ooh, the Tusk!
That's going to be your support Tusk, I would say.
I believe so, yeah. I think
almost always a full position hero.
Or he could be in the off lane, but that seems like a big risk.
Yeah, he's not the... I mean, he's okay. That's the backup place to put him,
10 seconds remaining.
We don't know for sure if it's position 4 Elder Titan or if he'll be headed to the off lane. They could put Void in the off lane. But like Tusk versus a solo Void or Tusk versus an Elder Titan, I think it could be okay. He could farm decently. But yeah, I think the support Tusk is a bit more likely. Sort of an odd hero. I feel like it's one of those supports that can either run around and not really get much done if the other team is positioned well and don't have very many gankable heroes, which seems to be the case, or one that just kind of runs around and balls out of control, quite literally.
That's definitely the case, yeah. I mean, I think First Touch, I would lean towards the support Elder Titan just because I think Void can get more done just as an offlaner if there's the follow-up damage and the Witch Doctor ban. Okay, that's something which synergizes well with the Void. Let's see what First Departure have in mind for this last pick, though. And what lanes they plan on doing.
Yeah.
At the same time, Void in the safe lane, like there's no real offlaner that's going to give him too much trouble here, even if it's a Tusk. Like melee on melee, Void is quite happy here.
Yeah.
Something which EG did with the Tusk, they would do these dual lanes, like a Tusk plus Jakiro off lane.
Yeah.
And that was really annoying for teams to deal with.
Yeah, that's a possibility. Jack's still in the pool here. Maybe something First Departure want to consider. It all depends on what they want to do with the Elder Titan. They have a lot of flexibility with this pick. Most of the good offlaners have been banned out, though. They banned them out themselves. But Tide, Centaur, and Bristleback, those big tanky frontliners, all off the realm of possibilities.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, for Malaysia, they're kind of running out of options. They go Legion.
So probably the offlane LC, and it looks like it will be a four Titan.
Four Titan, but then like as far as who's which lane, like Viper theoretically should be mid, but like, even Legion can mid. Void.
I wonder if it'll be a Miracle Legion commander mid.
Yeah, if it's mid, I would say it's Miracle playing it, but I think more likely we just see a standard Viper mid. Void, safe lane, Legion.
They have a lot of flexibility here. I mean, they could offlane the Void, safe lane the Viper with the Legion mid. All three of these heroes can kind of play any of the roles. Void mid probably won't be happening, but very, very hard to read. So it makes this final pick for Malaysia a little more difficult. Same kind of a conundrum here. Probably that support Tusk like we talked about, and they'll look for another core. Who do you take as an offlaner here? I mean, Clockwork is available.
Harry plays a good Clockwork, but I don't...
Prophet, he's still in the pool.
Yeah.
So that could be an option.
They kind of need that team fight / initiation element, I think is the main thing. Like, Tusk is not the best initiator, even with Snowball. That's more like used defensively.
Yeah, at least Clockwork could initiate, but...
Offlane Sand I don't know.
Offlane Sand King. The Jakiro Tusk, I don't think they'll do it. That's a very EG kind of a deal. That's the only team I've seen do it, but... That is a scary offlane.
I think it'd be a really good pick here if they and laning set up for them. Like Skywrath, Ember Spirit safe lane, Death Prophet mid, and then Tusk Jakiro off lane is fine. Like even if they're against a tri lane, that dual lane can just play very defensive, sit back, and just try and contest farm as much as possible. But it's not really a Team Malaysia thing. But I don't know what a Team Malaysia thing is anymore with the standard,
Yeah, they've got plenty of time to think about it, and it looks like they'll burn most of their reserve time here on this final pick. I'm trying to think of other good offlane options. There's got to be some other offlane hero that could work that I'm not thinking of. I don't know. Prophet and Clockwork are the two that I think
your old school ones, like your Bounty Hunter, just kind of suck as offlaners now. Like these.
Yeah.
These heroes are good as like 4th position heroes, but not offlaners.
Yeah.
I think
Bounty is in a weird spot right now.
Yeah, that hero needs some tweaks.
Talk about heroes in weird places. Undying. Dirge.
Gosh, I maybe an offensive trial lane coming out, but it's not the scariest of offensive trial lanes.
Yeah.
But that's generally like what Undying. It's like let's go like 2v2 or 3v2, or you want to have like a lot of action going on. You want as many heroes as possible around the Undying. Yeah, be it teammates or enemies.
Undying is one of these funky heroes where he's just like, his power in the first 6 levels is unreal. He puts out so much damage, and when he can steal strength at the beginning, while you already don't have a lot of base strength, you don't really realize how squishy you're getting sometimes. It's a pretty interesting hero, but one of the weaknesses is that teams will often just dodge him. If you're going for an aggro try, they'll just say, well, we're just not going to fight in the Undying lane. An odd hero. I used to say one that kind of just nosedives towards the late game, but he's kind of has that cyclical peak where at the beginning he's really strong, and then mid-game he kind of lulls a little bit. Then at the end, when Flesh Golem gets really powerful, and if he ends up finding farm, you get a pipe, get an Ags, there's all sorts of things that Undying can do to let him kind of scale towards that late game, but he does require that farm to make it happen.
Once the tombstone falls off, like, or the enemy team has enough damage or a good line to bring it down, that's where he struggles for a little bit. But it will be a high on the Undying, which is normally the off lane, so we'll have to see what it's going to be. KYXY on support? Or is this...
Maybe it's a farming Tusk.
KYXY support, please. This guy's such a good solo player.
Yeah.
Slash carry player.
And I can't imagine they'd be supporting a DP here. Now, she'll grab a null tally first. KYXY, he's got support items. Snowball forward. Here we go. Look at that damage.
All aboard.
Right onto the Elder Titan. That's a fast first blood. Mushi gets the last hit on the Ember Spirit. We're talking about an ideal opening scenario. How does the Snowball always move that fast? That seems...
It's based on how many heroes are in there.
Oh,
Bonus 100 movement speed per ally inside.
Okay. All these snowball changes. Yeah, I don't think I've seen a Tusk on this patch like that. A game that I've cast. I mean,
this is my first time seeing Tusk in a while.
Yeah, this is interesting. So wow. All right. Great start for Team Malaysia. No doubt about that one.
Well, first blood, and KOXO will be dual offlaning with a higher. I'm curious to see if this is like a change in Malaysia going to be like trying with KOXO support, or maybe it's just because of the Tusk pick. It seems they want their standard to actually play mid for them, which is... I mean, Mushi always kind of swapped between mid and carry with KYXY, so that's nothing new, but... Yeah, Chaos on the mid lane.
Yeah, so he'll take the Death Prophet mid. That'll put Mushi on the Ember up top. He gets an invisibility to start things off. Net takes the Skywrath Mage, and you mentioned this offlane. KYXY on the Tusk, and Ohio on the Undying.
Do I need to introduce first departure?
Sure, go for it.
We got the Luca on the Elder Titan. He went stunned level 1, which was not what he wanted to do, but he thought it might save his life. We got Lubby on the Vengeful Spirit, Pelosin on the safe lane Viper. Miracle will be playing that mid Legion Commander we mentioned might be possible, and then Hannah in the offlane on the Void.
All right, so Miracle taking a little bit more of a driver's seat role. Should be able to find pretty decent farm against the DP. LC's in another hero. I've said this a couple times already, but she is in a weird place. I feel like it's just total extremes with her, where she either falls off and has no plus damage by the 30-minute mark, and you're like, why is this hero even in the pool? And then you see other games where she's running around killing people, and 20 minutes in, it's like, well, this LC is already out of control. Yeah. And I haven't really identified the pattern yet. Like, what is the secret to a good LC?
Yeah, I don't know.
it's a weird. It's totally hit or miss.
I think when the games I've seen it do really well with Cloud9 and Bone 7 playing it, he's actually gone Blade Mail before Blink and had teammates help set up dual kills for him. And it's worked out really well when he's had that kind of setup and hasn't had to go straight for the Blink, because the fast Blade Mail is really nice for him. He benefits from the damage, the extra mana, the extra armor. Like, all the stats you get from it are fantastic for Legion commanders. So getting it first item is actually really nice, but we'll see. I think Miracle may just have to go for a Blink first in a game like this.
Yeah. The Blink first is definitely a little bit of a gamble, because obviously it makes it easy to catch the initiations, but you need help getting those kills. You can't just blink in and solo people down unless they're already really low or about to die. So LC does I think she definitely requires a team around her, not a great hero that you can just plop in the middle of any lineup and make it work. But down bottom, Ohio gets harassed back. As Tusk, he finds himself a regeneration rune. KYXY holding that second skill point, so considering Ice Shards or the Sigil. But there you go, grabs the Ice Shards now.
Alright. Well, see, this dual lane is, I mean, they're both so tanky. They're both... And even if you go on them, you can use that snowball somewhat defensively. You can use it to dodge magic missile if you're really fast on it. It's very difficult for first departure to do much with this tri lane. Elder Titan is not exactly a good support to have in a tri lane versus dual lane setup.
Yeah, he just doesn't offer much here, and not getting much experience. Yeah, it's a tough life for the Elder Titan. How's old Void doing? He just finds his level 3.
Getting XP. That's
doing all right.
Sums up his day, I'd say. Net. I mean, he's against a Skyreth support, so like just getting level 3 and having no CS is just fine.
Oh, down bottom, snowball, Ice Shards out on the Polison. Now the Tombstone comes down, and will they be able to actually find a kill here? Frozen Sigil comes out, so he can't run away too easily. They'll dive it. They find the kill on Viper, but now Ohio gets stunned in tower range, and he's not scared. They're going to man up here. A little surprised to see him just going all forward, but okay. They live. He uses his salve, and quick 2-0.
That timing. They must have done this in scrims and stuff, because it was right when they hit level 3, had all 3 of the spells, the Ice Shards, the Snowball, and the Frozen Sigil coming into play there. Without that Frozen Sigil, they weren't going to get that kill, but the slow with Tombstone plus Sigil was
pretty ridiculous.
This disgusting. Yeah, that Viper just couldn't move.
Yeah, this is good. Only 10% on the level 1 Sigil, but the little zombies that come out of the ground there definitely make a big difference. Mid lane, pretty much dead even. Miracle behind on denies a little bit, but very comparable last hits. LC.
Just like mid lane in a nutshell nowadays. Like,
yeah.
No one ever wins mid lane anymore.
It feels like that. It's like more games than not, it's just this even farm fest, and until supports rotate, just everyone's just bottle crowing, sitting there, snooze fest.
I miss the days of like there actually being heroes who win mid lane.
Yeah, like actual kills and
when back when like you could deny like full XP from denies. Those were the glory days. It also made like there only like 3 viable mid heroes at the same time. So As far as picking mids up, there was very few options.
Yeah, it's just the prevalence of bottle crowing now, and everybody's just so comfortable sitting back and farming. It's like a risk-reward thing where it pays off for both sides to sit back and not be hyper-aggressive mid, so it just feels like it's not worth the risk, I guess. KYXY gets set up on down bottom, but Snowball comes out, buys him some invulnerability time. Even the Tombstone's been used here. He'll go forward right onto Lubby. KYXY gets stunned up, does go down to the Viper. Ohio still doing some damage. There is a rotation coming down from Net, doing some damage to the Elder Titan. Ohio will live. Soul ripping a plenty, but Net, he's going to bite off more than he can chew here. He will get taken down. That'll make it 2-2 as Paulson gets a double kill on the Viper.
Yeah, first patch, a nice play there. They put Tusk in a really tough spot. He used the Snowball defensively, but the problem is he used it defensively to maybe block. He prevented the magic missile, but then he snowballs in because he can't stop it, and, well, then you're screwed.
Yeah, kind of a damned if you do, damned if you don't, but at least bought himself some time. If only someone else could have TP'd in to turn that around, but who would have done it? I guess Mushi could have TP'd in. He is level 6. Very risky, though, to move your Ember Spirit.
I think he only just hit level 6 after the thing. Okay. So. And if you TP in the Ember Spirit, like, you have to be getting a kill off his TP in, otherwise it's not worth it. And without the Fire Remnant mobility, maybe he doesn't get it. So.
Yeah, very, very risky indeed. If he wasn't level 6, then very understandable.
Mushi can get really aggressive on this Void now. Now that he is level 6, he can try to zone him out of the lane, even go for a kill, because you time walk out, he can chase you using his Fire Remnant.
Yep. And Void is not level 6, only halfway through level 4, so there is definitely some kill potential there. Mid lane, Merkel, he's in a lot of trouble, gets silenced, double damage on KS, Crypt Swarm connects, will press the attack, and looks like Arcane Bowl, will it be enough? Nope, the regeneration will bring him up, and Merkel survives. Meanwhile, in the top lane, here we go. Mushi manning up onto the Void, he will time walk back, and Mushi will settle for just clearing up the creep wave and then maybe pressure this tower a little bit. So even though Merkel, or pardon me, Mushi's supports have left him, Void still can't really get anything done. Still just 3 last hits.
Yeah. Radiant's top tower is under attack.
He's going to go back to base, and like, even when he hits level 6, like, there's not the best follow-up damage, even when he has Chronosphere to get kills bottom lane, snowball in, and...
A lot of damage.
Tanky-ish. He's going to buy items, realizing he's dead, though. The nice ice shots block. KYXY placing it really well.
Nowhere for him to go. And making good use of that snowball. Mid lane, there will be a rotation from the Elder Titan onto the Death Prophet. They almost find the kill on KS, and he actually turns.
Gets a turnaround kill.
Okay.
The jewel was used already, so I think they used the jewel and didn't kill him during it, which is unfortunate.
I was just thinking he could have lived if he had kept running, but Hana up top does have a time walk. Mushi thinking about pursuing this one, does use one of the remnants to get forward. Okay, won't pursue past it, but still giving this Void a run for his money. I mean, he's totally schooling him up here. 47 last hits. Mushi is the leader by a huge margin, not only against the Void, of course, but against the safe lane farmer of First Departure.
Yeah, I think that's a bigger issue, that the safe lane for First Departure. I think as far as Void's concerned, he's keeping Mushi in this lane so he's not ganking, and Mushi's not killing him, so I think Void's actually done quite well at top. Just the other lane at bottom has not gone as well as First Departure would like. They had the nice little 2 kills going to the Viper, but the 2 deaths on the Viper really hurt him.
Yeah, Paulson just a Aquila treads right now, so maybe going for a fast mech, but it won't be so fast at this rate. That's like you mentioned, now sitting 2-2. Overall, take a look at the graph. My Team Malaysia, MY, holding on to that 1,000 golden experience lead, about where they started in this game, just with slightly more efficient lanes. The 2-1-2 coming out a bit ahead. Ohio down bottom, harassing Paulson and actually baiting him in here. Out comes KYXY. They'll get the Tombstone down, and now the Skywrath joins the party. Ancient Seal to follow through, and they have enough damage just to bring down the Viper. Leads some wand charges, buys himself some time, but does not stop the inevitable.
He's just alone there, far up in the lane against, I mean, even just the Tusk plus Undying can kind of, maybe not kill him, but at least come close to with the Tombstone and the slows we've seen, so...
Yeah.
A bit too aggressive. Palusin on the Viper needs to just be a bit more cautious about his decisions.
And meanwhile, Lubby and Aluka, they're moving around, and all that time the Viper's left alone makes those ganks so easy. They smoke up looking for something on mid, but DP just rotates bottom, and they'll be completely unsuccessful. Top lane, Mushi gets the solo tower kill. Hana with a Chrono ready. Paulson doing some damage. Mushi will be on the run, does have a remnant up in just about 1 second. We'll try to TP home, and that won't happen. Chrono will interrupt it. They'll get a nice pick on the Ember, but still, some space creation is down bottom. KS uses the Exorcism, and they will find this tier 1 tower.
That was nicely played by the Void. He was split. He's put himself in a position because Mushi had the Fire Remnant by the secret shop, and Void's like, he's going to Fire Remnant there and then TP home. So Void was like, okay, I'm going to stay close enough to the Fire Remnant that I can time walk Chronosphere you, but also close enough so that he could be in range to stop Mushi's straight up TP. So it looked kind of like Mushi played that badly, but there was not much he could do.
Yeah, heads up indeed. So support's on the Dire. Tusk finds his level 6, so he'll now have that Walrus Punch ready to rock and roll in net. Almost level 5 on the Skywrath, and I think once he gets that Mystic Flare, then Team Malaysia have a little more kill opportunity, much more damage output for sure.
Man, did someone get KOXY for their fantasy draft? Because now as a support, that could be a value pick.
I don't think anybody took him that I can remember.
I feel like someone might have towards the end, but yeah, Ohio gets killed off. He was getting close to a max, so that's a nice kill together. Mushi with a counter gank. Hana has no time walk out, and Pelosing. Oh, there's your polar punch. As Mushi going to look for a second kill here, but it's not going too well for first departure. They find the one kill to start things off. They do end up getting the Tusk kill thanks to the Elder Titan from afar, but he may pay for this one with his life as well. Yeah,
starts off as a 2 for 2. He'll use the Echo Stomp, but Silence comes out. Mushi just slapping him around, and yeah, he'll feel the burn of those fiery bolas. Triple kill from Mushi now, and it is Malaysia that come out way ahead. Every time I see Mai, I want to say Mai Insanity. That that team that was playing at Star Ladder last season. Man, and why just doesn't translate to Malaysia in my head. I don't know why.
Mushi, not the player you want to be giving a triple kill to.
No,
at any stage of the game, but especially in the first 10 minutes.
Especially when he has this much momentum already. He's been holding that #1 net worth slot. He's 64 CS and now 4-1-0, 1,000 up on the LC, but not all bad for Miracle. Does now have his Blink Dagger on the way out, so that'll be his first item. They've got some initiation power, and they will smoke up behind their LC and maybe look to make something happen mid.
Yeah. LC with Blink Dagger coming out on the courier. He's leaving on the courier for now, doesn't want to reveal it right when he picks it up, and he's going to wait on the high ground as far back as possible. There's going to be Time Walk Chrono. Miracle should just nuke and then duel this, maybe?
I think that's the plan.
He doesn't actually use the nuke. The nuke may have killed Ohio too fast. It's like, guys, don't kill him too fast. They're going to get this duel damage.
Okay, well, that's good. Get some nice damage out of that. Ice Shards come in just to try and harass him back, but first departure, pressuring the Tier 1 tower, will take it out pretty easily. That is the first successful duel for Miracle, so gets 10 damage off of it. Paulison gets left behind, though. Out come the bolas. The follow-up is the Mystic Flare, but all the support is still inbound. Mushi coming in. Walrus Punch. A lot of low-health heroes on the side of the Radiant. Now they're starting to get cleaned up. Faceless Void and Viper go down first. Exorcism comes out. Lubby gets left behind. It's a 1 for 3. And now they'll just move right into the tower. Chaos on the DP, getting a triple off that. They're not even done yet. Aluka, he could be in some trouble as Mushi bumps right into Miracle. There's the blink over the tree line. They take down the Skywrath Mage. Mushi does what damage he can, but now he's on the defensive. Support is
Miracle has
inbound.
Jewel. We're going to be a bit careful here. Blink in 2 seconds.
He might be able to find this. He will have support inbound. Ohio comes in. There's your duel. Heals up Mushi.
Kill.
And yeah, the duel won't finish. Miracle will die. Mushi gets stunned by Lubby, but the Flame Guard helping him out. Hana comes in, and auto attack will bring him down. That'll end the dominating streak. They might be able to get Ohio out of this. Also, Snowball, no way to cancel it from here, but KS coming back in, stunning him up. Hana takes a Walrus Punch. He goes down. This is one long, drawn-out team fight. First departure will use a buyback now on the LC. They get the kill on Undying, and the rest of MY on the back foot. KS gets himself an Illusion Rune. Lubby now taking some auto attacks. Snowball across the tree line. Yules to stop him in his tracks, and yep, they've got the damage. Paulson, he gets silenced. Skywrath Mage drops a full rotation, the ultimate. But now even the Satyr's getting a piece of this, Parker.
Yeah, Miracle's back, and he wants this low HP Skywrath Mage. Blink, Jewel, could get this kill, he will. Whoa. This is just never-ending bloodbath. This is a bit of a change of pace from our last series, I would say.
Yeah, most definitely. The teamfight recap can't keep up with all the action. They'll coin it a 1-for-1. It looks like Malaysia came out ahead, or it was kind of a break even.
It was like a 7-for-7, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, Miracle cleans it up in the end, but he did have to buy back to make it happen. So that does hurt the net worth gain. And looking at the graph, just sort of this back and forth, and ends up still with a steady 3,000 gold experience edge for our Malaysian team.
Miracle at mid, going to just be looking to keep up his farm, actually. Not going to be in too much changes. Courier. Watch those.
Close call there. So Miracle, he gets 2 dual victories out of that. Now plus 24 damage. Did find his level 11 kind of partway through that skirmish. So he got a decent bit out of it. Mushi as well, looking towards the Battle Fury. No big surprise there. Has the cheaper piece, the Broadsword, and Claymore coming out next. Most likely 1,100 gold up on him. So looking at a decent Battle Fury timing here on Mushi. No big surprise.
Yeah. The Void suddenly caught up a decent amount in farm. He got the kill on Mushi there that fight, and that got him up to like Treads, Mask of Madness, almost Mask of Madness. Has just
middle
the
tower
mask,
is under attack.
See first departure. Looks like they're just going to sack this
fortified.
tier 1 mid. As, they don't really have... Well, could go for a deny with the Viper.
Yeah, they will glyph it. Viper does find the deny. Nicely done, but Mushi comes in. Swap from Lubby. Keeps Paulson alive for now, but KS has the ultimate on. Hana comes in, but there's Ghost swinging all over the place. Skywrath Mage will bring him down inside his own chrono. Now the duel onto Mushi. Do they have the damage to get a victory here? They do. That's a winner. Double kill out for Merkel, but MY doing a lot of damage. It's a 2 for 3, making it 2 for 4. Now they find the kill on top of the LC, and Aluka in some trouble. Throws out the Echo Stomp, but is it going to be enough? Ohio did not get caught by it, and Ice Shards fall a little bit short. Looks like the Elder Titan will live. Still, it's Team Malaysia that get another great exchange, even though they do feed a little more damage over to the LC.
Found where some follow-up damage on the Chronosphere can come from. That Earth Splitter just nailed a couple of those Malaysia heroes, helped bring down the Death Prophet fast enough that the X's didn't do too much damage, but they were still fighting under a Tombstone. This is the stage of the game where fighting under a Tombstone is just practically suicide, and you can see it there. Like, even though you kill 1 or 2 heroes at the start, the Tombstone just did its work over time, and Team Malaysia just have a very strong 5-man right now, with Ember Spirit really at one of his, like, his first little peak. His next one comes when he has, like, Battle Fury Daedalus, but right now, just even the phase drums, level 11, you're so strong in these fights.
Yeah, he puts out a lot of damage, and just going to get worse once he starts cleaving around. First departure, I mean, they haven't had to since he doesn't have cleave yet, but they've been clumped up a little bit in these skirmishes. And oh, this Void, just no item progression. We're 16 minutes in, and Hana's still working on his Mask of Madness. Power Tread's Morbid Mask right now, and saw how quickly he got chopped down in that last fight with the Mystic Flare inside the Chrono.
Good news is Pelosian's going to have a mech for the next fight. That was something which was really missing for first departure there. He acted pretty well as bait there. Like, the swap came in right away, and an alright Chronosphere. The Void obviously just melted even inside his own Chronosphere, but at least his life for the Death Prophets was well worth it.
Yeah, it was a great swap from Lubby to get things started. I don't think he died straight away either, so even lived a moment longer.
Yeah.
Pretty good stuff there. LC is still keeping up good farm, only 200 net worth behind that of the Ember, who is leading the charts. So not that Midas farm fest we saw in our first series. No Midas this game. The only farming tool will be the Battle Fury on the Ember Sphere, which of course is core for a variety of other reasons. The Blade, or the Claymore, has been picked up now, and just pulling up for that Perseverance. Mushi down bottom, playing around with the Void. There is a Chrono Time Walk now available. He will get bashed. A little unlucky for Mushi, but whoa, hops out as it's a wasted Chrono. This is a big deal. Yeah, Lubby completely isolated. Hana now silence Mystic Flare, and an Arcane Bolt might be enough to bring him down. Faceless Void dies. Now Lubby gets left behind, and this is not what First Departure wanted. A wasted Chrono, a quick pick on the 2.
I don't even think they kill Mushi if that Chrono hits. He didn't have he doesn't have Mask of Madness, so without that, I don't think his attack speed, unless he got like ridiculous bash RNG inside his Chronosphere, he was not killing Mushi there.
Yeah. Miracle trying to split push. We'll see a TP from the Ember towards the top lane, and Malaysia will just back out.
Miracle's got his blink. He's lurking around here. Thought about going in, but he's going to go in.
Okay, goes in onto Mushi. Looks like he'll have the damage to do this. He's hitting hard enough. A winner on a solo kill. That'll take him 52 damage.
Snowball's going to be close just in time.
Well, he pays for that one, but LC, one of those heroes, happy to trade 1 for 1, and position 1 for position 1. He's the big winner. He gets all the solo kill XP and gold, and of course he gets that yummy duel damage.
Yeah, Miracle's having a very big impact on this game as his Legion, just finding solo kills, helping out when he needs to. The buyback earlier, which kind of hurt him a little bit, but ultimately was for the greater good. And yeah, 5 duel wins, or 4 duel wins, and a decent amount of farm as his BKB is almost complete.
Yeah, that'll be another big item pickup. Viper either going BKB or Ags, but has an Ogre Club picked up. Void finally with that Mask of Madness. And ET and Venge without too much farm to their names. Venge, the lowest net worth, so Lubby really playing that hardcore position 5 Sacrificial Lamb, just powered treads and some consumables.
For ET, that's fine. This is like one of the least item-dependent heroes in the game. That's why we see like Ice and stuff just going Midas first on the hero, because he's like, well, there's no items I need. All I need is levels, and yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
So Luca may even be saving for like a late 20-25 minute Midas if he really wants.
Possible. Very possible.
He's going to pick up. He's going to go 4-star. He picked up the Staff of Wizardry.
Smoke rotation. Malaysia getting aggressive. They move into the jungle. Snowball not on the Paulson. They go for a Luca. They go for the easy target. And Walrus Punch on top of the Mystic Flare. More than enough damage. Now Paulson will just TP out. No way to interrupt it. And the smoke will result in a kill. Oh, good effort from Malaysia, and it pays off.
Yeah, it's still just a support kill. We'll see if they can get a Roshan or a tower out of this. They've got Exism in 15 if they want to use that for Roche. And it looks like that may be the plan as they stick around the pit.
I think they need it. DP finally going back for the point boost. Sort of an interesting item trajectory with no stats, going phase boots rules into a plate mail, and now finally getting some of that HP buffer. We'll see Vanguard now picked up on the Undying, probably your Crimson Guard. Again, an okay game for it. Not great, not an obvious Crimson Guard game, but
I guess there's enough physical damage. Legion, Viper, and Void all offer some.
Yeah. I think it's just an okay item in general. There are certain games when there's a lot of units, a lot of Necro books where it's amazing. Some games where it's borderline useless, and this is somewhere in the middle.
I'm not a fan of the item. Like
just blip.
I think it's like a Bristleback to maybe get it because you want to rush a Vanguard anyway. So unless you're a hero who benefits from having like a really fast Vanguard, like it's kind of meh.
Yeah.
Maybe a
Paulson. He's in some trouble. They'll catch him off guard. Mystic Flare and Walrus Punch. This Viper, he doesn't stand a chance. Now Luca, he gets caught by Mushi. Those are going to be some Searing Chains that lock him in place. That'll be a 2-for-0 in the mid lane. Mushi TP's top. Try and save this tier 2 tower. He needs to be careful, though. He'll fire Remnant around and kind of jukes him, even though he ends up in the same spot. And now another TP in, scaring back Hana. They will try to push the tier 2 in the mid lane meanwhile. And it looks like Malaysia will be successful. No, they won't. Okay, they'll back out.
Yeah, they force them back top lane with the second TP, but then they don't know where they go. If Miracle TP's mid, finds a jewel, there's only 2 or 3 heroes there, and Malaysia can't win that fight without the Undying and as well as the Ember. So
this strikes me as a very classic first departure game where they don't have the momentum. The opposition is kind of controlling the game, but they are constantly stopping the Dire side from really taking any easy objectives with the constant split push, and Miracle with just this uncanny ability to position himself so that he's always pressuring right when the other team wants to pressure.
And doing it on, like, unconventional heroes.
Yeah.
Not a hero you'd expect him to be split pushing on.
Ooh, mid lane, we'll see a duel onto Ohio. Plenty of follow-up damage, some more bonus damage. Winner, winner, chicken dinner, says the LC. And Miracle will be happy with that one as now they push forward towards the tier 2. Yeah, you would expect it on like a Morphling where you can replicate and bounce around the map, but on an LC, not really known for her pushing power, not really known for her just solo across the map abilities, but he's making it work.
Miracle now. Going to get found in the jungle here. Needs to be a bit careful. Mushi actually just going to throw
chains on the 2 Centaurs. That's unfortunate, but Ice Shards kind of break things up a little bit. Miracle presses the attack, and now support arrives.
15 seconds still duel, so I think they're going to play it safe. And like they know they've got a numbers advantage, so it's unlikely Malaysia try and chase them down, but I don't think First Departure want to take too messy of a fight. Yeah,
it looks like BKBs are coming out of plenty. Paulson will grab his Mithril Hammer. Hana rocking the Ogre Club of his own. And Miracle already has his BKB and now looking for a Blade Mount, looks like. So Magic Immunity will be the name of the game for First Departure.
And he's level 16, so that level 3 Jewel, he's going to be getting damage even quicker at this rate.
Yeah. 66 damage at 23 minutes. It was a little bit of a slow start, but he's kind of hit his stride, and I would say this is pretty good damage for this stage of the game.
I'd say this is like even slightly better than average. I mean, you look at like pub games, it's easy to kind of rack it up, but like teams are very careful about not giving Legion too much dual damage.
Yeah, no, you
7, 3, and 4 at this stage, considering they're playing from behind especially, I think is really good.
Yeah. And it'll just make his ability to split push by himself and do these kind of solo plays that much easier. Ember Spirit has that first Battle Fury, and Mushi will just go straight into crit. So has the broadsword, Blades of Attack picked up, looking for that Crystallis. Chrono up on the high ground, finds KS. Earth Splitter comes out, gets the DP kind of low. Follow-up damage is there, and whoa, the overwhelming odds do a lot. They get the kill on Tusk. Paulson in the front lines, laying in as much damage as he can, but Aluka gets left behind. Mushi reinitiates, brings down the Elder Titan. Paulson gets killed, and now the turn begins. Malaysia going in deep. Searing Chains will not connect on anything there, and it will just be... Yeah, that was atypical from Mushi, but Glyph comes out, and they will try to defend this tower still.
Death Prophet still has the Exorcism. She didn't want to use it because she was so low in HP, and I think First Departure were like, let's get Death Prophet low, and then just not finish off the Death Prophet, because she doesn't want to use Exorcism on 200 or 300 HP, because you die, you respawn, you don't have it. But
Yeah, that's a fair point.
So first departure, don't get that ultimate out. Thing is, Malaysia can still just keep on pushing now, and they heal up Death Prophet using the urns.
And Mushi using the full Ember Spirit kit here, going back to the well, filling up the bottle, and then hopping right back in with that ultimate. Has the Daedalus now. They'll set up onto the LC. KS uses the ultimate, misses the Crypt Swarm, but now we'll just focus on the tower. It's not taking too much damage. We'll finally go down, denied by the Viper. Snowball onto Paulison, Walrus Punch. And KS, he gets Viper struck, but they bring down the Viper this time. No buybacks used on the Radiant side yet. And I don't think MY want to go high ground, but looking for another opening to grab a kill. Mushi harassing towards the high ground. Hana very low and will retreat towards the well. So Malaysia coming out successful once more off a good team fight.
And Death Prophet picks up a Shiver's Guard now, so they're racking up the items on the Malaysia side, as Death Prophet also about to hit level 16 now. Both Mushi and KS really farmed.
Yep. It's pretty scary dealing with this Death Prophet. 25 minutes in, soon to hit that next peak when level 16 comes out, and we'll clear up this creep wave up top. Aegis gets reclaimed, 4 minutes until Roshan respawns now, so it will be actually a pretty quick timer, right around a minute plus the initial. Miracle going in, finds a duel on Mushi, and he's got a double damage rune, gets off the blade mail. Oh my gosh, Mushi doing so much damage to himself there.
Miracle just so good at finding heroes who are on their own, like, especially Mushi, because he's often like on his own, has a fire run, and will join up with his team later. And Miracle, obviously very familiar with how Mushi will play, and punishes the fact that he can find Mushi like that and then get a kill, get out, and no real threat to himself even showing, as Malaysia just unable to react to that.
Yeah, now up to 84 plus damage. Very solid there.
You can't count out a Legion who's racking up damage like this.
Yeah.
Give it another 10-15 minutes and he's going to have like a plus 150 or so damage if it keeps going at this rate, and suddenly things get a bit tricky for Team Malaysia.
Yeah, and I mean, also just look at his net worth now, only 500 behind that of the Death Prophet, so closing the gap there, finding a lot of good farm around the map, and these successful duels really paying off. Already another 1,900 gold on Miracle, and we'll see what he wants to pick up next. BOTs could be in his future. He picks up another TP scroll here, but just the way he's been playing, very active around the map, so doing some split pushing, I think BOTs would fit his play style on the Legion this game.
I think he probably replaces his bottle first, but yeah, he definitely wants a Boots of Travel for his later game items.
Point, yeah. Maybe the Maelstrom, Mjolnir will be up next.
Mjolnir is really good as far as giving you more damage output, and Assault Crest is probably the other item, because that also protects you against the physical damage of Ember Spirit and Death Prophet. Yeah.
Well, Blink on the Tusk, so now KYXY ready to get some initiation going on, but up top, Void, he's in a little bit of trouble. He will time walk out. Again, Mushi misses the chains.
Could just TP, yeah, no chains, and heals already used. And for first departure, like, Miracle's doing a great job of getting kills and creating space, and these other cores need to use it and get their BKBs. Void has his, Viper still a couple hundred away. And they'll do a bit better now in fights with their BKBs. They're still both really a bit underfarmed, unfortunately, but yeah, they're still able, like, Chronosphere in itself can win you a team fight. Just the fact it sets up the Earth Splitter has done really well in these battles.
Yeah, LC still looking strong, but one of those heroes that can only do so much. It looks very powerful in these little pickoffs kind of around the map, but in the big 5v5 team fights, LC is a little bit harder to execute with, especially because whoever she duels, there will be backup, and the other team will be pretty eager to jump on her and lock her down and do everything they can to keep the dual target alive. But things slowing down a little bit as we're about to approach the 30-minute mark. Both teams kind of happy, separated on their side of the map, and sitting back, farming out those core items. There's your BKB on the Viper. That's BKB number 3 for first departure. Just the supports that are lacking the Magic community at this point.
Yep. 4 stuff now up for a Luca, which is a nice little pickup. Like, some of these situations where we've seen where, like, Viper's got initiated on and died, like, a 4 staff could just save his life. And one of those fantastic items that gets better the longer the game goes, it feels.
Ooh, Shadow Blade.
That I did not see coming, but he knows there's no signs of, like, there's there's sentries on Skyrath, but there's no other invis on the Radiant team, so it's not like Malaysia were going to be buying mass sentries or a gem. They'll have to do so now that Miracle has this. This will force out a gem most likely.
It's still an interesting choice. This stage in the game, usually the Shadow Blade's picked up as more of like a tempo controller, like a first item, move around and get some ganks before a team can really afford a gem. still will put some pressure on now and open up some possibilities for him.
Yeah, you can see him just go into the enemy jungle. It allows you to just go in blind when you know they have no detection yet.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, finding kills with the blink, you kind of have to know where they are to get the blink duel off. Shadowblade allows you to, like, search and just kind of explore for those kills.
That's a good point.
But he's just lurking around this jungle, hoping someone comes to farm this neutral camp, which isn't going to happen. He sees 5 bottom,
tower is under attack.
Still, this Shadowblade hasn't been seen. If Malaysia go for a 5-man push, I can just see this Shadowblade doing some serious work. Or they push mid and use the Shadowblade, like, behind the T2 tower and punish Malaysia that way.
Oh, this could be intense. Malaysia coming in. They're smoked up. They'll come through the river outside of the Roche pit and look to intercept. They ping out
the wrong
FD.
spot for this, though. That's the problem.
They know exactly where they are for the most part. And where do they jump in? Exorcism used by KS to get things started. The chrono from Hana. Who does he connect? He catches Mushi in the back line. KS taking a lot of damage. The duel comes out. Earthsplitter flies through. They find the kill on the Prophet. Instant buyback. But what can you do without an Exorcism? Now the rest of the fight breaks out. Hana takes a punch. Will live. Paulson now the target of choice as he kind of gets left behind, completely isolated in the middle of the fight. But the Echo Stomp, that'll put some of them to sleep. Now they get the kill on Tusk, and it's first departure that are starting to come out on top. Aluga now, he's the one left behind. And they'll bring him down after the Viper. Buybacks use just the DP. So yeah, 2 for 2, pretty even.
It looked bad for first departure at the start because Miracle blinked in, but Death Prophet was used up, so he couldn't get the insta-duel off. And when you blink and you stand there for like 2 seconds under a tombstone, so you start building up zombies, which means it was going to cancel his blink, but luckily they still killed KS when he dropped down. Nothing to like stun or disable the first departure Legion Commander, and that's one of the problems with Malaysia's draft. They really lack good lockdown.
Yeah. And that's where the Undying falls short. He gives you a lot of dominance like in the laning phase, and then in this mid-game, he doesn't really offer that much control. The Tombstone becomes killable, as you mentioned, and he has a Crimson Guard now, and I don't know, just imagine what it would be like that was a Lion or someone who had some huge bursts, some big stuns, and, you know, could kind of give the Legion Commander a taste of
may have
medicine.
not seen this gem yet.
Oh, he certainly hasn't. Walks right in. Does use a duel, and
he just randomly, he's like, just duel the first person I see there.
Yeah, and Ohio actually gets the bonus damage.
Ohio picking up a gem is really nice.
Is under attack.
Yep, and now Lubby getting chased down. Will get brought down. Net finds a double kill off that. Actually got credit for the first one on the LC. Now brings down the Venge. Roche falls. DP is the one to grab the Aegis. And Team Malaysia, they're in good shape now. 2,000 net worth swing off those pickoffs. They regain some of their lost lead. And let's see where they go from here. Exorcism up in about 30 seconds, so maybe they look towards the base off this.
You can see Malaysia, like, a lot of teams will see that Shadowblade and then be like, oh, I've got to get some sentries or a gem at, like, for the next push or fight, but immediately Ohio has it. Like, they're going Roshan, they don't even want to take a chance with it, so... Miracle just getting a bit too overconfident about the fact that, not respecting that they'd get that gem.
Well, LC down for 25 seconds, no buyback available for Miracle.
Like, Elden Tides defending high ground, like, they should be fine until Legion respawns.
Yeah. KS.
Yeah, they'll glyph it maybe a little bit too early, but now they need to get a good stomp from the Elder Titans to just stall this push.
Well, now there is a double damage rune on the Ember Spirits. They need to be a little careful here. They'll go in on the Paulson. There's your Chrono. Hana doing good damage to KS. There's the Earth Splitter. But Death Prophet will live. Snowball comes out, buys him some time. Now they pop out. KYXY gets blown up. KS still alive, but finally goes down. That'll be the end of the Aegis.
Here comes a dual kill, too.
Yeah, this is not what Malaysia had in mind.
That was a really good Chronosphere. KYXY on the Tusk tried to get them in the Snowball, but he walked into it after the blink. I don't know if he was close enough, because the Snowball grab range is, I think, like 300, 400. It's 400 radius, so he could have maybe gotten it, but he accidentally walked inside the Chronosphere after the blink, and that really cost Malaysia. It was going to be a tough play anyways. If the Chronosphere had them in the middle, he was never going to get it anyways. It was just so happened that he had an opportunity to do so, just didn't quite do it. Yeah,
now Miracle going to take out this tier 2 tower in the mid lane. This is when LC gets very scary. Plus 120 damage. Now the Shadow Blade, 2,500 gold. There's a lot of potential here.
There's no buybacks here. They could get some good damage on this tier 3.
Yeah, DP down for 30, another 15 on the Ember Spirits. They'll use the glyph as they start laying into the T3. That'll force first departure back, and looks like Malaysia will live to see another day. And the glyph will be enough to just deter first departure that easily.
He wants some vision here of first departures. First departures still have okay vision though. 2 little cliff wards, which are hard to deward even with a gem, and then a ward in the enemy jungle. So
Lubby will pay for his insolence here as he gets left behind.
I don't know what he was up to there.
Yeah, and still the gem is on the Undying, so Team Malaysia did not lose their gem in that last fight. That's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, if they lose the gem, they're going to have to... I mean, buy mass sentries is a must, but that's 6 minutes before the new one can be coming up. And they do get a deward here, so...
That's a big victory.
Venge getting caught out there is like, oh, why is Venge here? Probably doing some warding, and that's where Malaysia checked that spot, which I don't think they otherwise would have checked.
And now you've got only 1 ward down for the Radiant, and not in a spot that's going to give you a hell of a lot of intel at this stage in the game.
Viper's getting decently farmed. He's getting close to an Assault Crest, though, which is a nice item.
Yeah, Halton's been able to stand his ground in these fights. Not super tanky, but just tanky enough with the maxed out Corrosive. Still only 2 points in the poison attack, so actually prioritizing the attributes here, just tanking up a little bit.
Unusual.
It's a little weird, yeah. Don't
like
see that so often.
It's a 40% movement speed. It's also attack speed too. Like that.
Yeah, this is an ability worth scaling. The damage, yeah, okay, not so much, but yeah, the percent slows are pretty freaking good, dude. I don't know.
That's dubious. That's very dubious.
Well,
it doesn't have the longest. It's only a 2-second duration or whatever. But if you're in a man fight where like you're fighting someone like Ember Spirit, they're attacking you, you're attacking them. You want that extra attack speed slow, especially.
Yeah, definitely. I'm very surprised at that.
Malaysia just, I mean, using shivers around the place, looking for wards here, all around their own jungle on cliffs and stuff, because they know that these cliff wards are still viable versus gem. But this observer ward will be spotted. Yep. So they'll get the last Radiant ward over.
So, alright, Malaysia, yeah, they're just hanging out, still farming away. Both teams slowing down a little bit. It'll be a long time before next Roche. So if that's what these teams are waiting for, we could be in for a pretty long farm fest. Team Malaysia still holding on to a very small lead, but at this point, it's pretty damn even. 2,500 gold and experience at the 36-minute mark is not too significant. More about initiation and map control at this point.
If Void can keep getting chronos like that last one, and if it's going to come down a lot to KYXY, his snowballs, because Snowball can also save people from the Legion Commander duel. So it's going to come down to just general execution. I don't think the difference in net worth is really that much important at all.
Definitely not. So Miracle, 4,300 gold, still pulling up quite a bit.
Yeah,
a couple of options.
Assault Crest is coming up on the Viper. Miracle's going to run into Mushi. Oh, runs the wrong way though. That tree fog is really pesky.
Yeah, nice heads up play from Mushi.
They know he's here though, and yeah, he's just backing off.
Yeah, neither one gets caught out. There is a full BKB now out on the Death Prophet. Force Staff on net. KYXY, he's had the blink, and Ohio hasn't really been able to farm too much this game on the Undying. Picked up that Crimson Guard and the gem. Those were his last items, and now 1,300 gold, but nothing past that. There's your AC on the Viper.
All right. So maybe waiting next Roshan Malaysia. I feel like they're just really timid. They can't really push the high ground, which is definitely a big thing, but maybe trying to get some more offensive wards so they can farm the enemy jungle and out-farm their opponents. Starve out First Departure, but First Departure, like, Miracle just always off on his own and somehow never gets caught out doing these kind of plays. Partly because Malaysia do lack the proper lockdown to deal with him. Like, it almost makes you feel like someone needs to go for a Scythe of Ice at some point, but no one's really equipped to do that.
Well, now Malaysia just moving around the Radiant jungle, but little do they know, First Departure have invaded theirs, so pretty unlikely they'll bump into anyone in terms of a gank. They will get a ward down to give a little bit of vision. They see Lubby, and maybe they'll just go for a quick pick on the Venge. Nope, not even going to do that.
They maybe think Venge is like joining up with teammates or just acting as bait, but just roaming around alone and...
LC mid goes in onto Mushi, Blade Mail online, but there's the snowball. Huge plays from the Tusk. Now they'll try to turn it around, and they just blow up the LC. Wow.
That's the kind of plays that this game's going to come down to, whether or not KYXY can get there in time for the snowballs. And it's always tricky. I mean, part of it's on KYXY being in the right position, part of it's on the Ember Spirit not getting caught out too far away from KYXY. So
yeah, that was pretty
worked out just barely there.
LC has more than enough gold to buy back. Up in the top lane, First Departure, get the tier 2 tower. Now they move in towards the tier 3. Mushi will go back to defend. He'll be pretty successful on that front. The rest of his team pressing forward. KS holding on to the Exorcism. They've got a glyph. They'll use it right away. LC will probably have to buy back here. Now the TPs are back. Mushi comes back in with the Fire Remnants. KX Oh, he gets locked in the chrono, but now the snowball keeps him alive. They'll find the kill right away on the Vengeful Spirit. Walrus Punch comes out, and KS, he's still alive. They bring down Hara. Paulison stands his ground. BKB on, trying to bring down the DP, but won't be able to do it. KS finally goes down. Elder Titan finds the kill. Now Mushi gets dueled. This time they'll bring him down. The buyback necessary. Void even buys back for this. Snowball used once more, and KYXY, whoa, he'll be able to blink. Buys himself some time, but he's going to get chased down.
This hero is so pesky to deal with. Tusk making some big plays this game. Miracle bought back. Problem was he didn't have BKB that fight because he blinked in looking for a duel but got insta-silenced by the Scarith Mage, which was a nice play by Net, but Malaysia still just didn't have the sustain the longer that fight went, and just the tier 3 tower. That tier 3 tower was already down to like 200 HP, so that was not exactly an accomplishment of Malaysia to kill that tier 3 tower.
That was pretty costly for First Departure, though. They had to burn 2 buybacks on cores, Void, and LC to make that happen.
I think they're about to force... They force out 1 buyback. If they could force out Ember or Death Prophet's buyback, it'd be great. Or if they could get a Roshan. Problem is, it's a fairly long Roshan respawn.
Yeah, that's really unlucky for First Departure. Fast respawn there means they secure Rosh, and that's Rosh 3, so they get a pretty big advantage.
Tier 1 bottom tower for Miracle. Yeah. We'll get free lift
structures are fortified.
Okay.
Well, they don't force out the core buybacks, but even the Tusk buyback isn't bad. It means he's not going to get that next item, that 4 stuff, or that...
It helps level things out a bit.
Yeah.
After that failed fight, for sure.
So, not bad. Even when, like, that fight, the snowball onto the Death Prophet was, like, nice. It helped save him a little bit, but it still feels like... The problem is, you have to snowball forward. So after the snowball, Death Prophet and Tusk are, like, in the middle of the enemy base on the high ground in a really bad position. And that's where I feel Tusk kind of struggles. Like, saving teammates like in that AoE disruption is nice, but you still end up in a really sticky situations sometimes.
Yeah.
My favorite has been like back when like the old snowball or whatever. I remember seeing some like 5 hero snowballs into like a black hole. Like Enigma just was ready for it, pop BKB, black hole all 5 heroes as they snowballed in. It's like Tusk just like set that one up.
Yeah, it can definitely be a double-edged sword. I mean, same deal with the Chrono, Earth Splitter. You have to use that spell very cautiously, as it can often be a detriment if you're not careful. Roche will be up in about 20 seconds, and Malaysia in a good position to take it. They will clear out their Ancients, and maybe they'll scout it out here. They do have the rune up on the cliff, so they'll have a little bit of vision control outside of the pit at First Departure when you use those Blink Daggers and be a bit sneaky. Will be a Heart of Tarask now on the Legion Commander, so level 24, Miracle now just tanking up. Not going the damage route, going the I want to survive, I've gotten enough damage from dual victories,
yeah,
let's just live.
It still gives him at least a little bit of damage anyways from this ring. Oh, almost got the blink jewel. Nice reaction.
And now we'll go forward. Hana goes in on KS. He's already used his ultimate, but it'll do a lot of return damage to the Void. The follow-up damage just isn't there. Tombstone damage comes out, but Viper gets the kill on the Ember Spirit. Now the rest of them come in. They'll do as much damage as they can, but it's First Departure that are cleaning this up. Still, KS is alive. Another Yules comes out. These ghosts starting to do a lot of damage. They've lost their Void. Now they finally bring down the DP. It's a triple kill for the Viper. Duel onto Ohio. He will die. It's a 2 for 4. All 4 of them go the way of the Viper. They ping out the Roche. But it's starting to feel like First Departure could take game 1 of this series.
Heart of Tarask is just a game-winning item today. Like, Miracle tanked up so much with that Heart of Tarask. It just allowed him to stay alive. And then when he was he was like surrounded by 4 enemy heroes, but the Moment of Courage lifesteal combining with all the extra damage he had, he just couldn't be brought down. And then finally Viper, we see him actually getting kills and coming into play as well. So First Departure go high ground, and where the buybacks at? Death Prophet has one but no exorcism, so it's not even worth using. Yeah. This is double racks. I think they'll get top as well.
This is really scary. First Departure were on the back foot, but now they've got this game in their wrath. They'll leave the range barracks standing mid. Instead, they'll just go straight for the top. The glyph's already been popped, and Merkel just hit so damn hard at this point. He's chewing through these buildings.
He's played a hell of a game on this Commander. He's created so much space for his team, and that's something you don't normally expect from like your main kind of carry slash. I mean, I guess split. His nature of split pushing just creates space and allows his team to catch up in terms of Iman's farm, and he's done an amazing job. So he's got 3k gold suddenly. So the Boots of Travel probably going to replace the Treads in a second, and as long as he has buyback money, he'll be pretty safe to go.
Yeah, he still has 2 minutes cooldown on his buyback, so you can just buy those BOTs straight up and farm from there.
Pelosi's got a heart as well. Everyone just... The raw HP just means Ember Spirit isn't doing enough damage.
Yeah. I feel like he almost needs like a Desolator or something to really buff up his damage.
He needs a Rapier now. Like, you're down 4 Raxes, you go Rapier, I think.
Yeah, he's just so far away. 1,300 gold.
The only way Malaysia stand a chance this game, unless they somehow win a fight and then just go for throne.
Well, Net will force that to the high ground. That'll be okay. Mushi comes in, Searing Chains on 2, but here's Void. Chronosphere misses. Total whiff.
Twice today.
Oh, Hana. Not your day, buddy.
Back off. Don't make... For first departure, I just... You have 4 axes. This is where they should play it slow. They do probably want to try and protect
Dire's
Roshan so that
bottom tower is
Malaysia
under
don't
attack.
take Roshan. But even if Malaysia get Aegis and Cheese, you're up 4 axes. You've got a Legion with a plus 156 damage. You're in a really good spot if you're first departure. You can just stall and wait for the Aegis to inspire if you really want.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. And Malaysia, I kind of agree about the Rapier sentiment, but I just don't think he's going to have time to farm it. Maybe if they take a good team fight first, Paulison gets stuck in some ice shards, silence, but they're just afraid to hop on it. They know it's bait. The rest of FD are just waiting behind. Could be a good window for Malaysia while the Chronosphere is down, but if they want to use that, they've got 35 seconds, then she'll be right back up. Here's the smoke.
Ooh. Have to see who they have such bad jumping because they have such poor lockdown. They can't actually jump and kill someone.
Looks like they'll go onto the Elder Titan. They'll bring him down right away. KS gets off the ultimate, but goes down. LC, the winner. And this is probably GG here. It feels like.
Exorcism too. Like you buy back and there's no exorcism.
It's just so bad for this DP. Now it comes in, uses the Shivas. They get the kill on Paulison, or do they? What a swap from Lubby. Paulison's still alive. Mushi comes around the backside, will finish him off. And it looks like Lubby will go down. Pays for the swap. Miracle moves into the tree line. Will live. And Malaysia, they trade a 1 for 3.
Are they going to try fight with this Chrono? Hannah's thinking about it.
They're
pinging like, let's do this. They're not going to expect this.
Let's interrupt some TPs back. Tier 4 towers taking damage as creeps from mid and top push into the base.
Catch KS. He uses Shiva's Guard and the Shadow Blade in.
Oh no, this is a dieback.
Mushi shows up though. Or it could be Mushi dying instead.
Ohio, now he's here. No one's defending the tier 4s. They're just going straight for heroes. Miracle, he gets silenced, pops the BKB, duels, gets the kill on Mushi. Now Hana with an awkward
that's a bad
chrono.
He trapped Miracle.
What? Okay, now Miracle. He's in big trouble, but oh, the Echo Stomp from Aluka.
And the force stuff not needed after that great Echo Stomp. That was really well played. And meanwhile, the Malaysia base.
Tier 4 towers going down. Yeah, the second tower taking a lot of damage. Mushi will clean up the wave, but first departure, they're in really good shape here.
Yeah. Malaysia get their gems back, which they'd lost earlier, or at least lost one of, so that'll help them a bit. They need at least one against the Shadowblade LC, and LC 6k gold. Miracle is just playing amazing right now.
He really is. Where do you even go from here? We talked about BOTs, but he'll still have a lot of gold left over after that. Ditch the Shadow Blade, I guess.
The blade. I'm about to say the blade mail is so good right now. Like, because you're being forced to be attacked that against someone like an Ember Spirit. I don't know. It is replaceable, but I don't know what the best time to replace it would be. Like, you can go Abyssal Blade, but you're not using that during a duel. You could go a Daedalus maybe.
Yeah, I like replacing the Shadow Blade with either a crit or a butterfly or something that just gives you some raw damage. And
I think the Shadow Blade's actually kind of a weird item that can get better like 60 minutes in the game, especially if you take out your enemy's gems or your opponents are split up. They may not have detection. And Mushi,
Miracle just chops him with a double damage. It's just disgusting.
He doesn't even have observer vision. He just sees Mushi leaving the mid creep wave and knows there's an exact trajectory towards the top lane. And I think they're going to go for that last Rax now. No buyback on Mushi. 95 seconds dead.
Oh, man.
What did Mushi just buy something? No, I think he just bought back previously.
Yeah,
he bought back in the
buyback's
previous
on
fight.
cooldown.
Yeah, that was
5
all his
minutes.
money.
So this is looking rough for Malaysia. And this is a pretty big upset. Again, the bets are like 80-20, 85-15, something like that on Dota 2 Lounge. And here we go. Team Malaysia 81-19. Team Malaysia about to lose game 1 of this best of 3 series. It's a double elimination, so they'll have to fight it out through the losers bracket. They can't take a win here. Hana hops in, gets silenced, but gets off the chrono on 2. Miracle off to the side, will get a duel, finds the kill on the Death Prophet, gets the kill on KYXY, and there it is. GG is called by Ohio, and it's first departure. Miracle Dota, ladies and gentlemen, this LC, this is one of the best LC performances I think I've seen.
Definitely
Very impressive.
the way he just snowballed out of control. It was the mid LC as well, which is not something that's been commonly coming out. And bit of an upset. First departure, they were like 19% or something on Dota 2 land.
Yeah, it's a pretty big upset, honestly.
Whew. That is really, really nice game. And it's good to see like different strats. Even Malaysia pulling out the Tusk, like for a long time it was working, and I think the draft from Malaysia was solid. They just had some slightly bad calls or misplays at various times. Mushi got caught out a lot.
Yeah. It was sort of, there wasn't that one defining big team fight like outside of the Roche pit that ruined it. It was just this slow, methodical FD slowly chipped away at him. Miracle just got more and more damage until the point it was like, Mushi, free kill if I find him.
Yeah, when Mushi has 10 deaths, you know things are not going well for Team Malaysia. Miracle on the other side, just the 5. Like, you're getting Pelosi he dies 11 times, but he's not the key player for this team.
Yeah.
He's kind of meant to just be that kind of meat shield in some ways.
Yeah. So, all right, that was game 1. First departure takes it. We'll see if Malaysia can take us to an ace match with a victory in game 2, or if it's just a quick 2-0 sweep. Stay tuned, folks, because the conclusion of this series coming up next.